may not know, many of those films are inspired by real-life people and even events.
Inside Zak Bagans' Haunted Museum, you can learn the truth with his collection of real items.
You've seen him walk into places no one else dares to enter. You've watched him challenge the darkness without hesitation. For years, Zak Bagans has built his reputation as the fearless face of the paranormal, a man who never backs down from the unknown. But what happens when the danger isn't in an abandoned prison or a cursed asylum, but waiting inside his own museum? Without warning, an urgent message surfaced online and sent shockwaves through the paranormal world. Fans expected a dramatic teaser or news about ghost adventures. What they got instead was deeply unsettling. Zak Bagans stood alone inside the haunted museum, surrounded by shadows, his voice low, tense, and unrecognizable. There was no confidence, no showmanship, no bravado. For the first time, he looked shaken. He admitted that something had happened. Something serious. Something he could no longer keep private. Weeks of unexplained silence suddenly made sense. Appearances vanished. Production stalled. Rumors swirled. Long before that message appeared, there were signs that something wasn't right. Appearances were quietly removed from schedules. A haunted museum night tour was cancelled without explanation. Production delays quietly disrupted ghost adventures with no official reason given. At first, fans assumed scheduling conflicts, but those who followed Zak Bagans closely knew something was wrong. He almost never cancels events, and when he does, he always explains why. This time there was only silence. Inside the haunted museum, staff noticed a shift in his behavior. Zak Bagans began staying long after closing hours, locking himself inside restricted areas even employees weren't allowed to enter. He avoided cameras, avoided conversations, and stopped interacting with staff entirely. Morning briefings disappeared. Instead, short and tense text messages replaced them, saying only, "Proceed without me today." As days passed, the atmosphere inside the museum grew heavier. Almost suffocating. Production on Ghost Adventures slowed unexpectedly. Crew members were instructed not to speak publicly about Zak Bagans' absence. When he finally appeared briefly on set, witnesses said he looked nothing like himself. His face was pale, his eyes hollow, his movements slow and distracted. His gaze frequently drifted toward empty corners of rooms as if something invisible was demanding his attention. Then came the moment fans could no longer ignore. During a brief live stream, Zak Bagans abruptly ended the broadcast after only a couple of minutes, claiming he didn't feel well. But before the stream cut out, viewers noticed something chilling in the reflection behind him. Some believed it was a reflection trick. Others suspected a health issue. But a growing number of fans feared something far darker. Many believed Zak Bagans had encountered something inside the haunted museum that he could not control. Despite the rising speculation, Zak Bagans said nothing. No denial, no reassurance. Behind the scenes, however, the people closest to him knew this wasn't stress or exhaustion. He was unraveling, and the center of it all appeared to be the museum itself. Crew members began noticing disturbing patterns. Zak Bagans stopped attending debriefings altogether. Messages became fragmented and strange. He avoided entire sections of the museum, including areas he had personally curated. The basement houses the museum's most volatile and dangerous artifacts and is normally off-limits without multiple staff members present. Yet Zak Bagans began going there alone after everyone had left, staying until sunrise. One crew member recalled seeing him emerge one morning looking exhausted and shaken. His clothes were wrinkled, his hair unkempt, and his hands visibly trembled. He kept glancing over his shoulder as if something was following him. Security footage later revealed something even more disturbing. Cameras captured Zak Bagans standing completely motionless in front of a sealed room for nearly 40 minutes. He didn't move. He didn't speak. He simply stared at the door. When questioned later, he claimed he had no memory of being there. Strange. Sounds began to surface soon after. Staff reported hearing sharp clattering noises, muffled voices, and heavy, unexplained thuds echoing through the museum hallways on nights when Zak Bagans stayed behind alone. Each time security investigated, nothing appeared out of place. No objects were moved. No doors were open. Yet the sounds continued. When staff raised their concerns, Zak Bagans grew increasingly distant and defensive, brushing off questions and avoiding conversations altogether. Then everything changed the night of Room 11, a moment that would quietly redefine the haunted museum forever. Among staff, room 11 was never discussed lightly. It was one of the most restricted spaces in the entire building, a silent, windowless chamber reserved for artifacts deemed too volatile and unpredictable for public exposure. Access was strictly controlled, meticulously logged, and always supervised. No exceptions were ever made. No one entered room 11 alone, ever that late one night, long after the museum had closed and the final security sweep had been completed. An alarm suddenly triggered inside room 11. At first, security dismissed it as a malfunction. Sensors had failed before, and nothing in that wing of the building was supposed to be active. But protocol demanded they check the camera feed. The moment the footage appeared on the monitor, the room fell silent. Zak Bagans was inside. He stood alone in complete darkness, positioned directly in front of the sealed artifact case. There was no record of him entering the room, no keycard log, no access request, no announcement over the security system. According to every safeguard in place, room 11 should have been empty. Security rushed toward the location, but when they reached the door, it was locked from the inside. They knocked. They called out his name. There was no response. For nearly 15 minutes, unsettling sounds echoed through the thick walls. Metallic scraping dragged across the floor. Something heavy fell, and beneath it all, Zak Bagans could be heard speaking rapidly under his breath, his voice strained and unfamiliar, as if he were addressing something no one else could see. When the door finally opened, he stepped out looking pale and shaken. Dust streaked his face, as if something inside the artifact case had been disturbed. Security noticed immediately that one of the artifact seals had been cracked open from the inside, something that should have been physically impossible. Zak Bagans demanded the security footage be erased and warned guards not to speak about what happened. But the story spread anyway. After that night, he vanished completely from public view. Filming was suspended. Calls went unanswered. Messages became vague and unsettling. Security logs showed he no longer entered entire wings of the museum, especially the hallway leading to room 11. At the same time, paranormal activity inside the haunted museum escalated. Doors rattled without explanation. Motion sensors triggered in sealed rooms. Whispers were captured during night shifts. Staff didn't say it out loud, but everyone thought the same thing. Something had changed. Some believed Zak Bagans was experiencing the psychological toll of years of exposure. Others whispered that something had attached itself to him the night he entered room 11. His assistant overheard him speaking to himself in his office, falling silent whenever someone approached. One crew member claimed Zak Bagans asked if they saw something following him when no one else was there. Then came the announcement that changed everything. There was no interview, no dramatic music, no build-up. Just white text on a black background posted to his official page. Zak Bagans admitted something had happened inside the haunted museum that he could no longer keep private. He described persistent disturbances, unexplained physical symptoms, and a dramatic escalation of paranormal activity after entering room 11 alone. He revealed that he had stepped away from ghost adventures and public appearances to undergo both medical and spiritual evaluations, not for publicity, not for drama, but for safety. Then came the most disturbing revelations. He described blackouts during normal activities, waking up in unfamiliar rooms without remembering how he got there, unexplained marks appearing on his arms and back that specialists could not identify. He stated clearly that this was not a stunt and not a teaser for a new season. Zak Bagans admitted he believed he had encountered an energy powerful enough to alter a person's behavior. The message ended with a line that instantly went viral. "I am not the same person I was before that night." The fallout was immediate. Production on Ghost Adventures was postponed indefinitely. Emergency meetings were held. Crew members quietly admitted strange things had been happening on set. Equipment malfunctions, sudden cold spots, unexplained voices captured during sound checks. The network considered relocating artifacts, increasing security, and even halting museum-related investigations altogether. Fans flooded social media with fear instead of excitement. Old clips were re-examined. Former visitors shared unsettling experiences they once dismissed. Through it all, Zak Bagans remained silent. Now, the questions remain unanswered. What did Zak Bagans truly encounter inside room 11? Did something follow him out of the haunted museum? And if it did, is it really gone? One thing is certain, this wasn't just another investigation. This was the moment the darkness followed him home. Like, share and subscribe for more stories that uncover what hides in the shadows. Thanks for watching.